Why has a cylinder recirculation become a fiasco?
It's a matter of fact, only last week, Ghana Gas cut sword for the construction of their bottling plant.
So that what will happen?
Goel is in the process of constructing their bottling plant.
You've said that.
So it is not a fiasco.
It's something you said since what?
No.
2 years ago?
Yes, what is
you
happening?
even have a whole sector. Is it the police headed by Francis Essiem? Is that not one of the reasons they're supposed to?
No, so Francis Essiem's place is Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing Company. It has been in existence for God knows how long.
Yes.
Now they are supposed to provide some of the cylinders that will oil the cylinder recirculation model of LPG distribution. We've started the pilot. We've done the pilot in Kade, Akwetia. We've done the pilot in Fomina and Obuasi. We've done another pilot in Jomoro and Yendi. And we are in the process of doing the pilot in Hohoi and I believe Angloga. So basically these are the places that we have started. So we've been working on the quiet.
So you actually plan to do this?
So it is rolling out. It is rolling out. Different companies are putting up their bottling plants. In fact, there's one that is already in existence, and they have also applied for what's the name? A permit to start operating. The pilot is such that we are looking at the possible bottlenecks that we would encounter when we do a full rollout. What we'll do is, at the end of the day, we'll do the two side by side, and then the market will determine, how things move on until such a time that we have all the bottling plants coming up.
When did you decide to do it side by side? Is it because the existing LPG companies or outlets are protesting? They say they will not vote for you because you're taking their jobs from them?
Well, if it is about vote, I believe the alternative is the same because this policy started in 2012. So whether or not it is NDC or MPP, the policy will take up.
But the implementation, you are going to do the implementation. They are threatening you against that.
As a matter of fact, the first bottling plant was almost completed in 2016.
And NDC lost.
Do you get it? That's the thing.
So if you complete some now...
Precisely. You see the thing.
You're most likely going to lose.
I'm not too sure. You see, first it used to be the issue of communication. All right. Then there was also concerns and fears about job losses, and they are legitimate fears. So we need to also give them assurance that there will be the fulcrum around which the whole policy will be implemented, having regard to the fact that they already have made some investments and so on and so forth. So yes, if they also apply for a bottling plant, why not? We'll consider and then grant approval for them.
Tell me,
operate.
your plan is that I would carry my cylinder from my house, an empty one, drop it at a depot and pick a fully loaded one. Is that your plan?
That is so. So the cylinder is not even yours.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is that the cylinder will no longer belong to you. The LPG marketing company will procure, brand, own, and maintain the cylinder. So all that consumers need to do is to go to a retail outlet or exchange points. Then you give them your details. They give you a filled cylinder. You carry home. It's branded. So you carry home.
So it's branded in the company's name. So you choose which company you want to deal with.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you have a plethora of them. You choose whichever one that you can always change.
But if I'm changing, do I have to pay because I'm bringing a container that is not owned by this company and I want to come and take from them?
So you return to the old chap
and say
then
thank
you
you
go for another person, depending on, because you see, when we did the working visits to different countries, they have incentives. Those LPG marketing companies, they have incentives for customers. Some will say, if you send me a text at any time of the day or night, I will deliver your cylinder to you within 20 minutes. If I don't do it, I'll pay a penalty, I'll buy you airtime, so on and so forth. Some will say, depending on where you are, I can deliver to you for free, and so on and so forth. So it depends on the marketing arrangement of the LPG marketing company.
So, but is it competitive? You mentioned Goel. Which other companies are in there? If it's not competitive, then they can play with the consumer or the customer.
I think it's going to be competitive.
How many companies
as
do you know?
Concerned, we have licensed about 6 companies already.
6,
and then there are a few more that are still pending for license purposes. But only last week, the Vice President, His Excellency Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, cut the sword for construction of one in the Ivalu-Ijira constituency by Ghana Gas.
You've licensed 6 companies?
Yes.
I'm not sure we have less than 100 gas stations or LPG stations in this country. How can 6 replace that much?
So we have about 659 LPG stations.
Awesome. You have just made your case worse.
Now, what is happening is that these are bottling plants that will fill 1,200 cylinders per hour. So if you are working 8 hours, you multiply by 1,200. Do you get it? So what you would have been filling at different places can be filled at one place. And all they have to do now is to get the vehicles that have the pellets to move them to various exchange points.
But is that not what you're avoiding? A truck carrying 100 cylinders that could possibly explode? So you're loading up from Tema and you're taking it to your constituency.
That's right.
Imagine the distance, cylinder rubbing against cylinder in the heat.
So they have pellets. So they have specialized trucks that carry the cylinders across the world.
Okay.
And just by way of information, I think that in the whole West Africa sub-region, you go to Togo, they do cylinder recirculation. You go to Burkina Faso, they do. You go to Cote d'Ivoire, you go to Benin, Sierra Leone, except Ghana and Nigeria. That's where we do what we currently do. So if you hear about any gas explosion, most likely if it's not Ghana, it is Nigeria. You ask the Senegalese, when was the last time you ever heard of any gas explosion? They don't even remember. It's something that they don't have in living memory. 40, 50 years, they haven't heard any such thing. So you ask them, when was the last time you had any accident that they say, oh, maybe a cylinder fell on somebody's leg? Those are the only accidents that they face.
Not
but
fire.
Not the fear of any gas explosion. That is something.
If it's so good, why has it still not been in circulation? How come this morning I couldn't call a company and say, deliver a bottle and pick my bottle, or I'm coming to pick my bottle? Why is it not coming into force?
Well, you would, like you rightly said, there is some level of hesitation and then some fear as far as the LPG marketing companies are concerned. But being a cabinet directive and a government policy, we are still rolling it out. But they have cooperated and they have told us that they are in full support of the policy. And so I believe that in due course, all of us will come to terms. You remember those days when you used to buy ice water? They used to carry it in buckets. And then when you want to buy the ice water, they fetch for you. Then you drink. And then they sell to the next person, the same cup. You recall? Then we'll move from that one to now selling the water in rubber. We'll tie the rubber.
Penny the penny.
You are penny the penny, you understand. Then from there, then we went to pure water. From pure water, now we have bottling bottles all over the place. So it's a transition. You can't do the same thing and expect different results.
When should we see cylinder recirculation?
Cylinder recirculation reasonably should start as soon as we have, we grant the license to, so now we have granted construction permits. As soon as they are done with the construction permits, it takes not more than 6 months to put up a standard modern LPG.
So cylinder recirculation cannot happen in 2020?
2020, I'm not sure it's going to happen, except maybe the existing one that has also applied. So if the board considered and on its own merit and then grants the approval, then probably it would start. But it all depends on whether they meet the mechanics. Because as far as we're concerned, we are not in a hurry just to grant licenses without giving consideration to public health.
So for mass production and circulation, we should be expecting maybe second quarter next year?
It's most likely going to be the case that realistically for